I've grown up most of my life in rural areas and always loved TV and movies, but never really had a way to contact or be in touch with some of my favorite celebrities. I've always wanted to meet some of my childhood celebrity heroes, but being in a rural location, I wasn't able to. So that's when I started collecting celebrity autographs. Dave Thomas, founder and commercial guy from Wendy's, Miss Shirley MacLaine. So I want to share a little bit of my hobby with you. This is Marion Ross from Happy Days, and she actually wrote me a little note there thanking me for the nice letter that I wrote to her. And this is Paul Anka, and great singer and songwriter, and Tim Burton, the director of many good movies like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Edward Scissorhands, and my favorite, Ed Wood. This is Sean Young, wonderful person, and signed a photo for me, and also a whole lot of crazy. Mr. Jim Belushi and Homer Simpson, actually the voice of Homer Simpson, Mr. Dan Castellino. Because I'm not going to pronounce that right, am I? Okay, and this is Shirley Jones, Marissa Tomei. It's really cool. She put like her autograph going up the side, which is kind of cool. My big book of celebrity autographs. This is Markie Post, who she was really awesome because she decorates the envelope that she sends the autograph in, and wrote a little note in there, and just super nice. And this is an X-Files publicity photo. The autographs on here are fake, but this card right here says, "To Troy, the truth is out there," and it's signed by Chris Carter, who was the executive producer of the X-Files and kind of the creator of it. So it's kind of a cool memento. My buddy Al Franken. Remember Al Franken? He used to be on SNL, and here's the late Billy Barty, one of probably the most popular little people actors of our time. And so I cherish stuff like this, the photos that I've gotten. Leslie Nielsen says, "Reverend Troy, luck and laughs," and he's a pretty cool guy. And there's Deborah Norville from Inside Edition, she's been on that show for years and still going strong. And remember King of Queens? There's Leah Remini. I think that's how you say that. And John Waters. What would life be without John Waters movies and Divine? I was always hoping he'd do a biopic of Divine and hire me to play the lead role. And of course, James Earl Jones, who is awesome. He's an awesome guy. And Nancy Cartwright, the actress that plays Bart Simpson. And there's Miss Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company, and there's Jerry Lewis. Actually, my dad had a birthday, and Jerry Lewis was one of his favorite actors, and I got Jerry to sign this autograph. When my dad passed away, my mom got it, gave it to me. There's Albert Brooks, and Ben Stein, anyone. So, pretty nice guy, and a good signer. And here's Casey Kasem, American Top 40. Yeah, I loved Casey Kasem when I was growing up. And Judd Hirsch from Taxi, and also he was in a show with Bob Newhart called George and Leo, and I loved that show. And it didn't make it through a whole season, but Sherwood Schwartz from the Brady Bunch. Crick and Chase, you have to be kind of rural and watch a little bit of the old channel TNN. And of course, film critic Rex Threed. Who could forget him? He panned a lot of movies in his day, I tell you. He's a pretty cool guy. And this is Randy Crane. He actually, he's the guy that owns the studio that writes a lot of the music that I use. And he's also a professional bodybuilder. So, cool. Of course, everybody knows who this is. Mr. Happy, Robin Williams, Patch Adams. And he's a great person. There's Billy Joe, and wrote To Reverend Height, Cheers, and Al Roker. I like the old fat Al Roker. not the new fat Al Roker. And there's Dick Van Dyke, and over here we've got Will Ferrell, and he even wrote a little personal note on there. He said, to Troy, sorry this is so late, and best wishes. So that's always cool when you get a little personal note like that. It just makes it all the more cooler. Of course, Andy Dick. What celebrity autograph would be complete without Mr. Andy Dick? And we've got Louis, Life with Louis, and Willem Dafoe. Of course, he was always a great actor, and I think he's probably even more popular now than ever with the Spider-Man movies and some of the other appearances he's made. That's me with the head of my denomination at one time. This is Tommy Chong, and hey man, this is a cool photo. So that's really cool that I got that. Mr. Bill Cosby! And I got his little autograph on there. And this, I treasure this because recently Mr. Carlin passed away. And basically what he wrote is, hey Rev, stay cool. And put a little asterisk there and put Troy, so that he'd know that I'd know that he wrote that to me. So I thought that was awesome. And there's Mr. Jim Neighbors, old Gomer Pyle. And here's another one, somebody who has passed away that meant a lot to us. If you grew up with the Honeymooners and watching Art Carney, he was a wonderful guy, and he signed this to both my wife and I. So it's kind of a special picture. There is Mr. Tim Conway, and he's a great guy. Just a super individual, and just made me laugh for a lot of years. And speaking of making me laugh for a lot of years, this is Alex Trebek. And you know what I should have done? I should have taken Will Ferrell's picture and put it on one side and Alex Trebek on the other side, because they are so good together. This is Billy Bob Thornton, and he actually made it out to Reverend Troy Height. And I love the movie Sling Blade. And of course, that's me, but that's another story. So I'll just keep it that way. This is John Travolta right there. And Kathleen Turner. So, turn the page here. Mr. Tommy Lee Jones on this side. Mr. Ray Charles on this side. Best wishes, Ray Charles. And he's one of our excellent entertainers who's passed on now. And here's another one who's passed on, Mr. Buddy Hackett, who a lot of times he would sign, and he would ask those people that he signed for to make a donation to an animal charity. And so we would do that to honor Buddy when we'd get a signature. And there's one of my favorite entertainers of all time, and a guy I really admire, Mr. Bob Newhart. And he is just fantastic. And this is John Larroquette. And those of you who are Night Court fans, and I love the 10th Kingdom and a bunch of stuff that John's been in. And this is Jerry Stiller, who was on Seinfeld and King of the Hill, and of course he's the father of Mr. Ben Stiller. Joe Pesci signed his CD cover for me, and he not only signed it, but he even drew little doodles on it. And he wrote here, thanks for the nice letter. So, since, just, get to know me, it's what I do. I collect celebrity autographs. And it's been kind of a fun thing, because here I am in rural Wyoming, and I'm far, far away. I'm no paparazzi. I'd never chase anybody around or try to snap their picture in a public place, but I might write them a nice letter and tell them how they've entertained me and what it's meant to me, and ask them if they'll send me an autograph. So that's that.